What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode 240 of the Michael Lab Show. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Thursday, cold November day. I think it's November 4th. Yeah, November 4th, and it's cold. I woke up yesterday, and it was 35 degrees outside. I went to go walk my significant other outside to send her off to work, as they would say. And didn't have socks on, didn't have shoes on, and I froze. My feet were frozen. And it's that time of the year, man. It's that time of the year where I unintentionally get really fat. Don't mean to. Just eat everything. I sent away my girlfriend today to get Reese's for us. So that's where I am. We are out there buying candy in packages. That's crazy. If you actively go out of your way to go to a store and buy candy, that's an issue. You have a fat problem, and you need to address it. I need to address it. I'm aware of this. But, it's just that time of the year, man. It's the time of the year where you eat everything in sight. You feel like shit. New Year's come around. The holidays come around. You get to leverage that as an excuse to continuously get fat, and that's just what happens. Last year didn't really happen. Last year I ran the 250 miles in December, which was fun. Which, if you go back and watch those podcast episodes, I look so thin. I was 190, 192. I was very thin. I haven't weighed myself in about a month, which is like the longest I haven't weighed myself probably in my entire life since I was like 16. Got that gingerbread flavored coffee because white girl. Last year I didn't really put on weight. Last year I just ran a lot. I ran again a few days ago. I think I ran on Tuesday. It felt pretty good. I ran 2 miles, just on the treadmill, about a 9:20 pace. So kind of like a, fat high school girl pace. I'm pretty sure that's pretty slow. 9:20, that's pretty slow. That's really slow. I think I was doing my half marathons under, I don't know. I think I was doing my half marathons like an hour 50. I think it was under 2 hours. What's a good half marathon time? Finishing a half marathon in less than 2 hours is a common goal for experienced half marathon runners. So running a sub 2 or sub 2 half marathon means maintaining an average pace of not. Yeah, okay. That's crazy. I can't believe I was doing that. I can't believe I was running that much. That is, like, I'm looking back at that now, like, that is nuts that I was running, like, anywhere more than a 5K a day. I mean, I was doing 8 miles a day for over a whole month. So that was fun. This year, I might end up doing that, but probably not. These next 3 months, there's going to be a lot of travel, a lot of moving, couple job interviews here and there. My last day of work is set in stone. Girlfriend is looking for a new job right now, has an interview. It could be hyper movement here soon. Things are moving fast. School's coming down to an end. I got a couple of papers I got to do. Got a 15 plus page paper, a business plan that I have to do, which I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I want to do for it. I think I'm going to do a business, a gym setting. I don't know if I want to do like a single gym or if I want to do like a gym franchise, kind of like at Anytime, or if I want to do a personal training studio. I think I might go that way. I'm trying to find something where I have a lot of experience in, so I kind of know like the back end of gyms. I work in a gym. I kind of pay attention to like the finances. I know where the money comes in. I know where the money goes out. I know the expenses. I know like the how to. I kind of have the inside scoop. And I also kind of have an inside scoop of restaurants, but we're not allowed to do anything on restaurants or food trucks. So I think I might go the personal training route for the gym. I just think it's simple. It's also complex in terms of like revenue streams. If I'm just going to do personal training, I kind of got to pay attention to a consistent income, just developing like the revenue model for that. So I got that. I got a 15-page plus essay or business plan model I have to do for my my entrepreneurship marketing class, which has paid dividends. It's one of my favorite classes of all time. My professor's great. He's a great professor. He's professional. He knows what he's talking about. He's a veteran. He's an angel investor. He invests his own money. He knows what he's doing, and I have nothing but respect for him. He's a great professor. And then I have to do a written paper for my social venture that I did, which I presented on the podcast actually, and that was the autism thing I did. I ended up getting like 145 out of 150 on that, so I did pretty well on that. My teacher voted for me to move on to like the state finals, but I didn't get accepted there. It was autism. Like, I don't think people, I'm not gonna say people don't care about it, but it's not prominent, so people don't really talk about it that much. But I did do pretty well on that. And then I did another business pitch, which I just kind of bullshitted it. I did well. I got like 89 out of 100, so nothing crazy. But it was like I did a table. I basically did my project on a table that moves up and down. So like nothing complex there. So I had those 3 things I got to do before the end of the year. I think I graduate. I think my last day is like mid-December. I think graduation might be early January where I actually walk. So just got to figure all that stuff out. Just a bunch of logistics stuff. Kind of, trying to find an apartment at the same time, not having to have too much lag time between having a job and having an apartment, or having an apartment, having a job. The benefit to our situation is we have she has family that lives up there in Roanoke. So Roanoke, Virginia, which is going to be like kind of a topic I get into today. So we could always, hang out there until we can find a place in that area. So just a lot of logistics. So there might be indiscrepancies. There might be an inconsistent uploading of podcasts. I would say probably starting early December to like late January, so typically I do 8 podcasts a month, right? 2 each week, just 4 weeks on average. So that's about a 16 episode period where I might only end up uploading 10 to 12. I'm going to try to do 16, but we'll see. I got to move the studio into our apartment. It's going to be much different. It's going to be a smaller place. I might not even like have like all this stuff that's behind me is probably going to end up going. Just a lot of change happening, which is I'm super excited about. I kind of spearheaded this move and, where I wanted to go, and just a lot of opportunity. And, just feel comfortable now doing it. I don't feel like we have to do it, but I want to do it, which I think is a nice place to be in. It's a privileged place to be in. I understand that I'm lucky. I can choose when I want to move and when I don't want to move. So I've been applying to a few jobs. A couple, like a finance position, like a financial asset management position for like high wealth earners. A couple, enterprise was one of them as well, which, the money was pretty well. It was like, I think it's starting like $53K a year, 46-hour work week, health benefits, profit sharing, and all that good stuff. And they reached out to me on LinkedIn, and it would be Roanoke Enterprise. I just don't know if I want to do that. Like, I just want a job that pays me decently, but at the same time, I do want to like enjoy my job. And I know wherever I'll be the best employee there, one of the best employees there at least, and I'll bring the most value to the team. But eventually, ideally, what I ultimately want to do is not have to work. Like, there's a lot of remote positions. So I'm kind of finding myself in a position where do I apply to a lot of remote positions and just kind of get a job with a remote job and do it that way? Because ideally, what I would like to do is when we move, I can just stay in the apartment and work from the apartment. That would be the best situation, and not have to drive somewhere. And there's so many opportunities out there right now for remote positions. So I'm pretty sure I have an interview coming up soon. I got to reach back out to the place and talk to them. It's like a client thing. I don't know. It's like customer service marketing client situation. It pays okay. I think it's like 40 to 60K a year, but it's remote, and I like, there's something very attractive to that. There's like, what I'm trying to do in my life is to reach freedom as fast as possible. And, I think the first step to freedom is finances. Like, you got to have financial freedom. And then a second step is your job. You don't want your job to hold you down anywhere. And I think if I can find a job that pays me decently, I can knock out two birds with one stone. I can reach financial freedom quicker that way. At the same time, I can also go ahead and have a job where I can work from my home, from Starbucks, from a coffee shop, from a library, whatever I want to do. So that's exciting. Just trying to figure that out. I don't want to end up somewhere that I'm working so much. I don't get me wrong. I like working a lot. I've worked a lot for a long time. I'm only 25, but I've done a lot of different positions. I've worked in the restaurant industry. I've worked from busing to managing, from serving to dishes to catering to personal training to whatever sales, whatever it is, helping with marketing. I've done a lot of positions, and I want a job that pays me well, in a job that can pay, that as my value goes up at the business, so does my pay. And I would like that ideally in a perfect world to not have to be at a physical location. So I definitely think it's possible. And there's so many opportunities out there. And I think that's one of the reasons why you see people leaving their jobs to look for remote positions, or people are stalemating their employers saying, hey man, you either pay me more and I'll work in the office, or you don't pay me more and I work 100% remote or 80% remote, 20% in person. And, I think the power is being put into the hands of the employees, and I'm pro that. I think that's a good thing. I think employers have power, and I think they should have power, but ultimately I think the employees are the ones making the decisions. And I think that's a good thing that we're kind of moving into this day and age where people are realizing, why do we go into a physical location all the time? It doesn't make sense when you have Zoom. And it also doesn't make sense from like a climate perspective too, because, a lot of people care about the climate. As you should, as I do care about the climate, just not, I'm not out there. So here's what you're not going to see me. You're not going to see me at a protest about the climate. You're just not going to, I'm not going to do that. It's very rare you're going to see me at a protest for a lot of things. Only things you might see me at a protest for is like the war on drugs. Like if Maryland came down with like an aggressive law against marijuana, it said all weed was illegal, you might see me go to a protest on that, because I think that's absurd. I think I've officially found where I lie in my party, and let me tell you where I think I fall into on the political climate. So I think I fall into the I want to just find like a nice little the radical libertarian party beliefs. That's where I think I am. I think I'm a libertarian. I do. I think I'm a libertarian, man. I just want to find like a little check mark. Maybe it's on images. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Libertarian Party, anti-war party. Okay, so so this is from socially tolerant and fiscally responsible. That's where I am. Like I've always felt that way. Like I've never, like, we break down both parties. Republicans, I think the way that Republicans work with money is great. I think it's really good. I think they're much more conservative with finances, and don't tax that much. And you can't fix everything by pumping more money into it. At the same time, I completely disagree with a lot of the social views. I'm pro-choice. I think women should be able to abort their kid up to a limit. I'm against anything that hurts other social groups, LGBTQIAP+. And on the left, at the same time, I completely disagree with the way that they deal with money. On the right, again, I'm pro-military, pro-police, pro-guns. On the left, I like their social views. I think equality for all is good. I think the way they go about it is completely wrong, though. So people on the left believe in government-regulated economy. All people on the right believe in a government-regulated morality. Libertarians believe in economic freedom and personal freedom. I'm right there. I believe that. I think Economic freedom is so important, and personal freedom. And freedom to me is like, you can't, the definition of freedom is the freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want. And I think the only asterisk in that is when it harms others. And when it harms others, that's all I care about. That's why I'm pro drug use. That's why I'm pro alcohol use. That's why I'm pro whatever you want to do to your body. Like, I don't care. I don't care. And that's, I think people call that like a radical left idea. I don't think that's a left idea at all, because they don't believe in that. Like, they just with the vaccines, they don't believe in that, because they're forcing people to put stuff in the body, especially if you've already had COVID, and you're probably not going to spread it because you've had COVID. United Nations and United Nations led U.S. military actions, on the left. On the right, nation building. Libertarians believe in robust national defense and non-interventionist foreign policy. I agree with that. Take care of the United States. But I also think at the same time, we better be ready to go to war if China decides to go to war with us. I'm a huge proponent of military, a strong military. At the end of the day, if you don't think we need a military, you live in a country where you have a strong military. Trust me on that. If you think you can take money from our military, it's because you're lucky that you live in this country where there's no country coming over here because of the size of the military. On the left, using eminent domain for private gain. On the right, war on drugs. Libertarians believe in respect for others' property rights, tolerance of others' personal choices. On the left, banning guns. On the right, Patriot Act. I hate the Patriot Act. I think that's crazy. Like, the idea that, after 9/11, we passed this law where ideally what we were told is that this is going to reduce terrorist attacks. There were still terrorist attacks. And what they did is the NSA now has unlimited access to all of our social media and everything we do on our phone legally. And Edward Snowden pointed this out in his book, somewhere over here. Where is it? Where is she? She's somewhere. Yeah, permanent record. He pointed that out. I think that's crazy that they have the ability to just look into our stuff. That's ridiculous. Libertarians believe in individual rights to keep and bear arms. Totally agree with that. Civil liberties and privacy. On the left, taxpayer funding on government charities. Taxpayer funding on faith-based charities. Fuck that. Fuck that. Religion should pay taxes just as much as any other government, especially when they're out there having sex with underage boys and just having sex with underage kids on a whole, and also embezzling all the time. You always hear of priests getting in trouble for doing that shit. And power to them. They're under the following the rules. Good. You take advantage of the system when the system is flawed. That's also the issue I have with saying that billionaires aren't paying the taxes. Well, they're taking advantage of the system that's been implemented to them. That, by the way, has been agreed upon by the Congress. By the way, the same people who are agreeing on these, they're doing it because they are also taking advantage of those loopholes. Education leads you to be able to avoid taxes. That's just the truth. Taxes are just paid by the middle class and lower class, and they've always been that way. I mean, that's literally what the Roman Empire did. That's literally what they did. They implemented taxes to make the peasants pay for their stuff. It's always been that way. That's what a tax is. It's always been that way. Taxes historically have never been paid by the rich, ever. That's how the rich has been getting paid, by the taxes paid by the poor and the middle class, and generally just the middle class, because the poor won't pay for taxes. And no wonder they won't pay for taxes. They don't have enough money to feed their kids. Why would you pay taxes when you can't feed your kids? Libertarians believe in separation of church and state. I totally agree with that. They say that exists, but that doesn't exist. I mean, the church and the state are, butt fucking each other. No pun intended. But Joe Biden and the Pope were just hanging out together. Libertarians also believe in giving generously to those in need. I'm totally down for that. The idea of charities are fine, but also at the same time, I feel like we should just be able to give money directly to people. Like, this whole shell business, to me, I don't trust trusting charities is like, I don't know. Libertarians believe, are on the left, they believe, Democrats believe in special treatment for select minorities. On the right, special treatment for select corporations. In the middle, libertarians, ending corporate welfare. I might disagree with that one. I think welfare is good. Advancement based on individual ability. I think that's also something I believe in. But I think I found my position. I do. I think I found my position. And just a few more other things. Government should just defend our rights. Let individuals pursue their own interests. Totally agree with. Stop nation building and being the policemen of the world. Peace through trade and diplomacy. Totally agree with. I don't think we should be policing the whole world. I think we are strong enough to protect ourselves if we have to. We've always done this thing with like communism. Like we've always taken the stance to stop the spread of communism, but we've never had communism in this country. And I think you can make an argument that's because we've always stopped it, but we've never stopped it. We've only ever made it grow. I mean, we did it with Nam. We did it with, I guess we kind of slowed down. No, I mean, kind of Russia went into a communist state after World War II with Joseph Stalin. Venezuela was another one. End the failed war on drugs and legalize marijuana. Totally agree with. Everyone should be getting high. I don't care what you do. War on drugs is an absolute failure. It's disgusting that it ever happened. Support small businesses, entrepreneurship, and free markets. Easier pathway to citizenship. It's almost like it's almost like the perfect party. And that kind of leads me to what I've been seeing. It's like, you know, there's been a lot of shifts in traditional parties, traditional things have been happening in this country. If you've just been paying attention at all to like the past week, as the time of me recording this episode, I don't think New Jersey has come out with a new governor. I can look it up. New Jersey governor race. So 47 minutes ago, election live results. Concedes to Youngkin. Yeah, we knew that. Tight New Jersey race. I just want to see like Wall Street Journal should show me. No, god damn it. I just want to see if maybe New York Times. I was looking at it yesterday at work. I had it like pulled up because I could see it live. It might be on CNN or it could be on Politico. This is okay. Here we go. Okay. Wow. Holy crap. Son of a bitch. Did you see that? Fuck. I really wanted to wear the shirt today too. God damn it. I'm a full-blown... I'm an idiot. Why did I do that? Gotta use my Redskin thing. Or, not Redskin. I don't think I can say Redskin anymore. The Washington football team. That's what it is. God damn it. I'm still gonna wear it. Yeah, anyways. So, what I was saying. Why is it GOP for Republican and Dem for Democrat? Shouldn't it be REP? Anyways. Yeah, so there's been this, Biden has been in office, and before I say this, I'm not like throwing shade at anybody. This is just, I'm just trying to state what's happened, and I've talked about this before on the podcast, and I talked about this months ago, a year ago. This is what happens. This is what is always going to happen. This is what happened with Trump. This is what's happening with the Democrat Party right now. So when Joe Biden won, there was this sense of the blue taking over everything. And, I was pro it because I really thought that they were going to make some serious change. And maybe I'm just naive at the time. I've completely lost trust in all the government stuff. I mean, like literally like my eyes are like falling asleep as I'm talking about it because I just don't trust it at all anymore. It's complete, not all of it's nonsense. And there was this sense of, we're saved. This country's saved, whatever, because they hated Trump so much for a lot of reasons, good reasons and unnecessary reasons. But anyways, they hated Trump. And so they won, right? And then there was the Senate turned blue. The House is already blue. Joe Biden is apparently a Democrat. I don't think he's a Democrat. I think he's a Republican acting like a Democrat, and nothing he's doing is what he said. Anyways, what has ended up happening is nothing that they wanted to get done has happened. Afghanistan was a complete failure, complete utter failure. If it was Trump, I guarantee they would have been talking about impeachment. It was horrible. And if you look at Afghanistan right now, it's completely falling apart. They just had a bombing again in Kabul. Women aren't allowed at school anymore. Children are, women are getting killed out in the street. You can't be gay anymore. Like it's a complete disaster. And I'm not saying we should go back there. I'm just saying like this is the reality. And we lost 13 Marines. Like, don't forget about that. We lost 13 Marines because of the negligence, in my opinion. Somebody's making a documentary on it right now. Somebody's writing a book on it right now, and it's going to come out. And you're going to see that this is one of the biggest failures that we have ever seen. One of the biggest military blunders of all time. Just my opinion, but I really do think that it was a major F up. And we're going to see that sooner than later. The inflation is crazy. Like I think the first stimulus package was necessary. The second one, somewhat, but I think the third one was complete nonsense. I think there's a third one, but the inflation is crazy right now. I think it's like 5.4%, 5.8%. I know it was 5.8% at one point. It's just going to get worse, right? And they're trying to pass this other stimulus package, which could have been passed by Thursday, by the time you guys are listening to this. But, they said that they had it started at like $3 or $4 trillion, which is like, what? And then how are you going to get this money? And they're saying they're going to get this money off of the rich. And then they talk about these capital gains taxes or unrealized capital gains taxes. And then the immediate thing is, how are you going to tax unrealized gains? It's not money. That's just an investment. That's potential money that you could liquefy, could be cash, but also at the same time, we could have another pandemic, the market crashes, and now Tesla's worth nothing, and now Elon goes from $300 billion down to maybe $1 billion. So what are you going to tax? Are you going to tax them on negative income? Wait, that's not a thing. You can't have negative income because it's not income until you sell your options. So you sell your stocks or your options run out. It's crazy. So then they were like, okay, well, we can't do that. So they've cut so many things from the stimulus package. They cut free education. They cut a lot of things from the stimulus package, and they still don't want to do it. And Senator Manchin from West Virginia, who's a Democrat, centrist, in my opinion, probably a Republican, probably just a Democrat in West Virginia, but I think he's like a mid-centrist Democrat. I think more Republican. People are just like, nah, dude, this is crazy. We can't be because here's the one thing that is going to rise to the top forever and always is money. Once people go to the store on a weekly basis and they're spending $100 for their groceries, every single week they're spending $100. The next week, if they're spending $105, they're going to be like, that's weird. And then the next month, they're spending $110 for the same amount of food, same product. You're going to have an issue. And I don't care if it's Trump as president. I don't care if it's Joe Biden as president. People are going to hate that. They hate when their money is not as powerful anymore. And that is how a state in a country runs. I don't care if you hate capitalism, or if you think money shouldn't be the means that we barter, if you still think we should be trading goats for corn, that's fine. That's your opinion, but that's not the world. That's not reality. We don't live in that world. That world's fake that you're trying to make up. The real world is a world where if money is the ultimate power, and if money starts decreasing in value, people take a step back. They raise their eyebrows. It's like, this is weird. Why is this happening? Oh, this is happening because we're continuously spending. Oh, gas prices are going through the roof. Our supply chain's completely broken because we shut down everything. Now we're trying to reopen it, and there's just an influx. It's like when you hold back a pipe for too long, and then you shoot, like, when you get a hose and you twist it like that, and you stop the water, you're gonna untwist it, and then it's gonna go through. And that's what's happening. There's way too much money in the market right now. These interest rates are so low. If you just look at what's going on with the housing market right now, if you know anything about the housing market, and there's been a lot of fake realtors out there. And I'm not throwing shots at anybody, but at one point there was more real estate agents than there was houses on the market. That should be an indicator of what's happening. And now what you're finding, I mean, look at Zillow. Zillow just had fuck, they did something that was crazy. Zillow. Their stock is down crazy amount. Zillow says it's closing home buying business, cutting 25% of workforce. This is what's happening. We're approaching a bubble because what this is what was going on. People were selling their houses because of the pandemic. People were getting rid of their assets, taking cash, downsizing, retiring early, getting out, moving, whatever. Housing prices were going up because at the same time, people were buying because interest rates were at an all-time low. But you find yourself in this weird scenario where you need to put down a 10% payment on a loan. So if you get a $500,000 house, you got to put down $50K. So people are selling their assets and they're liquefying their assets, trying to get a bundle of cash to put down, so more up front to have a low interest rate for the long run. So what happened is the price just kept on going up and up and up and up. And they're starting to hit this point where they're going to burst and they're going to go down, down, down. So if you bought a house, this is just my opinion. And if I was on the housing market, if I was actively looking for a house, I would not be buying right now. Even though the interest rates are low, I think there's a value of upfront cash because let's say a 10% down payment on a $500,000 house, whatever. So $50,000, you get a 2% interest. Awesome. Cool. So 2% each month on your mortgage payment. That's good. But what you could do is wait for that price to drop down to $400,000, put down a $40,000 payment. Interest rate might be 3%, but you can take that $10,000, that 40 from 50, that extra $10,000, liquefy that, and then put that in an investment portfolio where it gains 9%. So you're actually netting a 6% gain instead of losing that $10,000. And I think it's starting to catch up to us now where we're starting to realize, holy crap, gas prices are through the roof. Corn prices are through the roof, which is a huge deal. People don't realize when corn goes through the roof, I mean, everything's made with corn syrup. Everything, all chips, all snacks are made with corn. All sodas are made with corn. It's like the backbone, like corn, wheat, gas, metals, lithium, lumber. That was kind of like the beginning of it. You remember that lumber thing? There's like memes about it, but that was the beginning of it, man. That was the beginning of like the whole shit. What is happening here? And, I think it's time. I think we're skating around on water that we're skating around on ice that's going to break. And I think I think people are, and I think that's what you're seeing in the government races where Virginia just went Republican. And there's a reason why, because people are fed up with this narrative that has been created because it's not true. Like this idea that if you're a Republican, you support Trump, or if you're a Republican, you're a racist or you're a white supremacist. It's just not true. It's so not true. Like the guy who he was running against in New Jersey, in Virginia, what's that dumbass's name? He's stupid, dude. Mick Iliff concedes to Youngkin, and Virginia's bruising gubernatorial. What a dumb word. But he had some of his workers that worked for him dressed up as white supremacists and go to a rally, go to Charlottesville and act like they were white supremacists. Like that's crazy, dude. That is crazy. When that's happening and people are going at that lengths to try to show that a party and people who support that party are white supremacists, you can't trick the people. Once you start making people, once you start doing things to people that you think are just going to go over their head, guess what you're doing? You're telling these people they're dumb and they can't keep up with this shit. You fucked up. You can't be doing that. Well, you take people's money. Taking money from people is fine, right? Taxing is fine, but you better damn well show me that my taxes are working. And if you promise my kids free education for community college, it better happen within the first 6 months, because I'm not waiting longer than that. I'm going to flip on you. And you saw that 15% of white middle-aged women flipped. They don't have time for that shit anymore. They don't have time for that anymore. Americans don't have time for that. Don't take our money. If you're going to take our money, invest our money. We want to see returns on our money as quick as possible. Just look at the stock market. Look at also Las Vegas. People put money in, they want money out immediately. Don't take their money. Don't have broken promises. And don't talk down on people. And that's what's happened. And you're seeing this huge shift in the country. I mean, I don't think that New Jersey. I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I'm just predicting the future. That it went left, right? That it did not go Republican and went Democrat, and that's fine. You know, I'm not anti-Democrat. I love Democrat. I think I really like their social views on things, but what I don't like is talking to people like they're children, because that's what's been happening, and this is the repercussions of it. Virginia has flipped red. New Jersey almost flipped red. I think they could, but I'm not. I'm predicting that they didn't. You're going to see the Senate, and it's going to flip red, and there's going to be a Republican president in 2024. That's just what's going to happen, because this is the way, this is the beauty of America, is that we do swing. We swing harsh, too. We take these huge, Mike Tyson swings at each other, and, it's people are sick of a lot of things. People are sick of COVID. People are sick of, like, these vaccine things. Like, I know people who, I don't know if I should say, I have heard of people who've gotten the booster shot who've had not the best symptoms afterwards. People are tired of this shit where you have to get all these shots and you have to show proof of vaccination, and they're starting to repeal it. People are starting to stand up to it. Companies are going to strike left and right. People are tired of all this, like, over, and this is America for you. And I think this is the beauty of this country, is that because we have these freedoms, we can say F you when we believe F you. And we believe in F you right now. And guess what? At the same time, it can happen on the left and right. And I support either one. But what I don't support is the government talking to us like we're children. I hate that shit, because that's disrespectful. And these people are idiots. People who run for politicians, in my opinion, are just narcissistic sociopaths. I mean, when Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, like, what are you talking about, bro? What are you talking? I know so many black people that are Democrats. I know so many black people are Republicans. And I know so many black people who, like, don't speak for them. Like, don't act like these people are different than you. Like, it's fucking crazy. It's crazy. Like, this past year has been a social experiment. These past 2 years have been wild to watch. And, like, I see, I saw on MSNBC, like, a little clip where this dumbass woman, sorry, but what you said was dumb and stupid. That you're saying that the new governor now, Youngkin of Virginia is like the second coming of Trump. It's like, what are you talking about? Why would you say that? Just because he's part of the Republican Party? I could say the same thing about Bill Clinton. Is Obama and Joe Biden child molesters like Bill Clinton was? I could say that. This is factually true. Bill Clinton had sex with underage women on an island. The guy that flew him to and from that island killed himself after he was about to get indicted on tens of underage sexual action charges. Like, Ghislaine Maxwell is still on trial. Like, let's not do this. Let's not act like America's stupid. Let's not act like citizens are stupid, because you do not talk down on people. They hate that shit. And how dare you act like one guy? Like, how dare you say all people who support Trump are racist? That's just logically not true. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I think for a moment there was this wave where it did make sense, because there was support. These actors were saying it, like these movie stars were saying it, like these politicians were saying it, like, down with Trump, insurrection, he's a domestic terrorist. But when terrorist acts happen, we don't give a fuck. It's crazy. It is crazy. You know what? It makes me want to put on my shades for the last minute of this podcast, because that's how we're feeling today. We're a hefty boy. We're putting on some weight. Life is good for me. I'm happy. I'm doing really well. The investments are doing well. Money's going up. Crypto's going to the moon. My day trades almost got locked out of my account. I didn't know I only had a certain amount of day trades. I don't have over 25K in stocks. So, like, I can't make unlimited day trades, which is fine. I understand. But started with 40, got up to 109. Now I got 46. So I'm still up. But I'm doing, like, since I can't do, like, unlimited day trades, I got to make a trade in the morning. and sell it the next day. So like the stock can do a lot of movement. So I'm kind of just putting money in penny stocks and like hoping for like a 10%, 20% return and selling it the next day and seeing it. Like I'm in naked today, NAKD. And at one point I was up, but I think I'm back down now. So it's just fun, dude. We're just having fun, man. Life is fun. But don't talk down to people. Don't make people act like they're like don't do that shit. People don't like that. People don't need you to tell them that they're like what to do. Just saying. But yeah, I don't really think I got much more to talk about. You guys probably like, shut up, Mike. You're a fucking idiot. Stop talking, bro. You know? Stop talking, man. Damn, my Twitter be blowing up. I'm that Twitter guy now. ATH now starting to read. Easily back to the all-time high. Easily back to the all-time. I'm on the Twitter life, baby. You know, I'm on the Twitter life because who said smart move? Who's this guy? Speaker and founder. Because I'm trying to keep up with the stocks. I'm trying to play that day trade shit, dog. It's hard, man. It's definitely hard. But you know, what are you gonna do? Gotta have fun. It's fun. But yeah, guys. That's all I really gotta talk about. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. I will see you guys on Tuesday, and be safe. Have a good day, and I will speak to you guys soon. Thank you so much. Peace out.